was that this meeting does not fulfill the legal requirements nor the spirit of the Brown Act. The Brown Act clearly states that the body must post an agenda containing a brief general description of each item to be discussed or transacted at the meeting, including items to be discussed in closed session. That's section 54954.2a. If you look at your agenda, and anybody in the audience, there is no brief general description on the agenda for the public forum. We could be talking about chicken coops and illegally parked vehicles for all that the public knows. The purpose of the brief general description is to inform interested members of the public about the subject matter under consideration so that they can determine whether to monitor or participate in the meeting of the body. The Act makes it clear that discussion items must be placed on the agenda, as well as items which may be the subject of action by the body. So I ask each of you, how is the public supposed to know what is to be discussed here today? This public forum is not a legal, agendized public meeting that you are now asking the public to participate in this afternoon. Additionally, there is no provision on this agenda for the public comment at the public forum, since this appears to be a separate meeting. There's another serious issue that's been raised regarding the process of the public forum itself. Being this is a public meeting, having private discussions at separate tables with individual council body members formally assembled together in the same room deprives everyone of the open process. It also deprives each member of the council as a body from hearing the complete, accurate, and non-filtered comments from the public. While it is good that both the council as a body and the public hearing what is being said, because of this obvious violation, the legal advice given to me was that you adjourn this meeting. Call a special meeting with 24 hours notice to the public, properly agendized in order to comply legally. By doing this, it allows you to still receive the public's input regarding the attributes and qualities of what they want to see from their next city manager. It includes them in the process, and more importantly, it is done legally.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Williams. Let me follow up quickly with our city attorney. I understand he's reviewed our agenda and have not had any concerns from him. So let me follow up with that. I don't see them here. And I'll be right back. Thank you.
Mr. Williams, I certainly don't profess to be a Brown Act expert. However, I will challenge you on two things. One, it was on the public agenda, which means it was properly noticed in time within the 72-hour noticing restrictions I ran, sorry. The other thing is, the Brown Act requires that you have public comment before the council takes action. This body is not taking action this evening. This body is simply listening to your comments. If you want to comment to them, you certainly can. If you do not want to comment to them, you do not have to. This is simply a gathering. They are in the same room. Catch my breath, doesn't it? But it is my opinion that it is not a violation of the Brown Act because it has been on an agenda and they are not taking action. They are simply receiving public comment. The time for the public comment when they leave here at 5:30 or 6 o'clock will be when they reconvene or they convene over in the council chambers. And then at that time, there will be public comment before any action is taken. And the closed session item about the city manager recruitment is on the agenda, but prior to that is the public comment portion. So I do believe that this meeting meets all of the criteria of the Brown Act, and that this council in no way, shape, or form did anything in violation of that Brown Act.
I think it was
Just a comment,
clear
if I
as
might.
well that this time now is for comments in regards to seeking a new city manager, and you were saying that we could talk about anything. My understanding was it was announced in several articles in the paper, clearly defined that the input that we're anticipating this meeting to give is just information regarding what you would like to see in a new city manager.
And that's correct, it was in the paper. The point is, if you look on the agenda, it's not agendized properly. If you understand that, if someone in the room that maybe has worked with this before can back that up, it has to have a brief general description, because you're right, Pam, that it was noticed, but it's not noticed properly, and that's the point. It says public forum. The public has no idea, unless they read the Sentinel, as to what this meeting is all about, and that's your official notification. The other part is, because this is a formal gathering of the body collectively together, it deprives the public from hearing what is being said. That's the point. And rather than doing it this way, if they would have done it publicly, everybody could have heard the same comments together collectively, the audience and the council, and it would be unfiltered. What you're going to have is everybody going to different tables, and then you have to compare notes, and they get misinterpreted or filtered or whatever. And that's the purpose of the public meeting, so everyone is not deprived of that information together. So that agenda is not legally correct.
I
If there's somebody in the room that knows the agenda part, they can speak up now. You don't have an attorney here, otherwise they would.
He's on his way. But I will tell you, the Brown Act is not specific as to the description. The Brown Act specifically states that you must give a description in letting the public know what is happening. This is a public forum. It doesn't say it has to be 15 words or 20 words. It doesn't have to say anything about the description. It just
Yes,
says,
it has to be a
it says
brief
it must be a
description.
brief description,
And
and
it's
it
not
is
noted.
a brief description as a public forum. With your second opinion or comment, the council could have gone to the Star Restaurant and said, I'm here having a cup of coffee, if you want to come talk to me, come talk to me. They could have all gone and gotten a separate booth, and people could have done that and made those comments. This is an opportunity. It is not a public meeting. They put public, it is an opportunity for the public to express their opinions to individual council members. I may want to go up and tell council that I want to see blah, 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 blah. I don't necessarily want you to know what I think is needed in a council city manager. It's an opportunity for you to have some privacy, make some confidential comments to your council member. If you want, we'll be happy to adjourn, then go out and stand on the street corner and do the same thing.
You're absolutely right. They can do that anytime with the council persons, and each one of them if they so chose. The fact that this is a noted public meeting as a body, that is not correct the way you're describing it.
No, I
Let me-
disagree, but
yeah,
I'll
let
let
me
my
answer
city attorney.
your question.
And by the way, we can also share with the changes that were made for immediate release and regarding to this too.
Yes, thank you.
And it says suspended provisions of the Brown Act include preparation and posting at least 72 hours before a regular meeting of an agenda that contains a brief general description of each item of business to be transacted. So it's been suspended at this point in time.
I agree with that.
Yeah, and this was effective
January.
June 27th. June 27th, so it's been about 2 months, not quite 2 months. But we had chosen as a council to continue to do our descriptions, but it has been suspended as a provision of the Brown Act. Also inclusions of the agenda of a brief general description of all items to be discussed in closed session has also been suspended. Disclosure of each item to be disclosed in closed session in an open meeting prior to any closed session has been suspended. Report in open session prior to adjournments on actions and votes taken in closed session regarding certain subject matters has been suspended. So just to share that those changes have been made and been in effect for about 2 months. We're trying to still follow the initial original intent of the Brown Act, but we can't be held accountable if we choose to go this route. We have the legal ability to go that route.
And it was the council's intention to make this as open as possible and let the public know that they are concerned with your thoughts and your ideas about what the city needs, and giving you the opportunity to express those one-on-one or to each individual one. This is something that this council body did not have to do. It was an opportunity to give the public an opportunity to come in and speak with them. So instead of taking this as a positive and giving this council credit for giving you an opportunity to meet with them and tell them what you think one-on-one, you're turning this into a negative.
I appreciate it. I saw it in the paper, and I'm glad I get to come up, and I didn't know what this forum was going to be set up like, but I think this is really cool.
So at this point, I as the
knew
city
what I was coming
manager,
to.
I'm going to declare that this is not a violation of the Brown Act, that we can continue with this forum. If you wish to talk to your council member, so be it. If you do not wish to, talk to them now, and you wish to make your comments under the public meeting, you may do so at 6 o'clock prior to us going into closed session. Council does need to be over in the council chambers in an hour and 10 minutes, so please, let's take this opportunity if you want to talk to your council. If you do not, then we'll see you at 6
May we
o'clock.
get the
You may
attorney's
address,
comment?
you may,
Yeah, all I'll say is that the meeting's properly agendized. If you have a particular, it sounds like some people are here and want to talk to people. If you have a particular concern, I'd be happy to talk to you about that. If your opinion is that the Brown Act, that the Brown Act has been violated, there's a mechanism for you to contest that. If you have a legal opinion, I'd be happy to hear it. But
I'm not an attorney. I'm saying that I talked to the top attorneys that deal with the Brown Act. And there's
you didn't
two or
talk to
three-
me, so.
No, I know.
If you have a particular question, I'd be happy to answer it. Otherwise,